NFL playoffs are here, and this matchup on Wild Card Weekend is brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Bulls and the Blues on Sunday night primetime.
Now from just east of the Mississippi River, EA Sports welcomes you to the home of the Blues, Memphis, Tennessee. Tonight we wrap up a great Sunday here in Super Wild Card Weekend, as it'll be the Bulls of San Juan taking on the Blues of Memphis. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the postseason on EA Sports. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, that's really all I need to say to get you fired up. It's the postseason on EA Sports.
And no one's more fired up than the guys who are going to be playing in this game. This is what they fought for all year long. Go back to the OTAs, the mini camps, training camp, throughout the season to get to the playoffs. The intensity level will be off the charts.
The third of 3 games to finish up this Sunday. We might save the best for last. And off we go here in the wild card round. And it's a pretty good return here, so he'll get this up to the 29. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And trotting out there, their tall quarterbacks down at 6'5".
And he comes into these playoffs bringing a team that's been battle-tested, won the division, and earned the home playoff game here in round 1. But every year they know that a division champ, it feels like, gets beat. They don't want to be that team. They have to avoid the overconfidence and make sure they play the same way they played during the regular season, mistake-free and with passion.
Second down and 8.
It's second and 8.
Back to throw. Stevenson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Lynch. That'll give him 8 that time. And now 1 yard to go on third down. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. From the gun on third down. Stevenson. Well, they would have gotten the conversion if he could hold on. Instead, the drop means it'll be fourth down.
That was their first third down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key third down throws.
Fielded at the 20. A 39-yard punt, a return of 5. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they'll be led out by their quarterback now in his 3rd season in the league.
And we can talk all we want about football being a team game and leaning on different parts and aspects in order to get it done. And that's entirely true during the regular season. Some weeks it's the defense, the special teams, running the football. But in the playoffs, all the pressure reverts to the quarterback, and he has to play well and play at a really high level in order for his team to win. Holding offense.
So that run play nullified by the holding call on the tight end.
Yeah, I just think he needs to get off the ball a lot quicker and get into the block a little bit more effectively. Then he doesn't have to reach and grab and try and hold on.
Now a handoff up the middle. Beasley. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. Hopefully, obviously nothing serious here. Medical staff, though, going to take a peek, and we'll take a break. Throwing, Jones. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Let's give some credit to the defensive guys on that play. Able to bat that one away. Sure looked like they were trying to hit the corner route.
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
Now on fourth down, on is the punt team sending this one away. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And a 3 and out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. Excellent job on the keeper. 20 yards and a first down. I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
And they're going to stop it right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Now it's 2nd and 10.
At the 40-yard line.
They'll keep it on the ground. Anthony. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. 16 yards, a first down.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. This will be caught inside the 10. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll take it into the end zone for a touchdown. A 6-yard touchdown run. And the Blues will strike first here in this wild card matchup. So a toss play there does the trick as he's into the end zone.
And you don't run this unless you're sure you've got a guy who has the speed who can get to the edge, because what you're hoping for him to win the race to the corner and turn it upfield to the end zone.
Now the try here for the point after. It's up and good, and it'll give his guys a 7-0 lead. A drive that time of 6 plays, and it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Back onto the field comes this offense, ready for their 2nd drive. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3
and now
and
they
out.
have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'm trying to do better here. Now Jones. And he can't escape, and down he goes. Call it a loss of 5, a big sack to bring up 3rd down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, Jones. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. And they're already in the red zone. The 18-yard line is where they take over. The defense, they were swarming that time and ultimately got to him before he could get rid of the football and knocked it free.
And don't you feel just a little bit of sympathy for him back there, though? So much going on, so much swirling around. He's trying to find someone downfield. He's trying to move around to find an open target. Sometimes you forget the number one thing: take care of the football.
Following the fumble recovery, Stevenson. His throw caught at about the 5. Touchdown! An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Blues are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
It's never fun for a defense to run on the field knowing that they're having to defend a short field. Just the idea of trying to limit an offense in that position, daunting for a defense.
No going for two. They'll kick the point after. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. And they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. San Juan's offense ready to get started again. They've been a come-from-behind team all year. They'll need to do it again as they trail early in this wild card game. And this is dropped. Oh, it's incomplete. He had a big gainer in his sights, but he could not reel it in. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Up the middle they go. Beasley. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And Jones is not going to have the first down as they stop him short. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
4th and short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the first quarter.
On your own side of the field.
On side of the field. But, boy, what a tone setter that would be to go for it and get it, wouldn't it?
You're gritty today. I like it.
I'm feeling it.
And they bring their punter out there now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. On the return, it's White. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's Memphis to once again go on offense. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. Takes it to about the 37.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Now a handoff inside. It's Peyton. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
They run again with Peyton. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 46-yard line.
Looking to throw. Stevenson. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
On 3rd and 2, Stevenson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And this will be up to the ruling of the side judge here. He says it crossed out of bounds at the 16-yard line. They go play action here on 1st down. Over the middle, the catch made by Mitchell. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. Throwing on 1st down. Jones. And he will be hit from behind and run over. Wow. The safety blitz staged to perfection that time as they sack him for a loss of 6. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack. Off the play fake. Jones. And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down. Back to throw. Jones. before he takes it across the 40-yard line. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field, because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down. Now a handoff up the middle. Beasley. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough.
And a second one, first down.
And Jones going to keep once more. And he'll be taken down here as it will take us to the end of the first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football. So from the 37, here's 2nd down and a yard. Up the middle they go. Beasley. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 11 yards there. First down.
Well, when you're a road team in the playoffs, when you're a wild card, what's the one thing you need to be able to do to stay in football games? Run the football. And that's an excellent job right there of identifying where to go and picking up good yardage.
Now Jones. And he's got his man in stride. Complete. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Now a 2nd and 2.
At the 17-yard line.
Looking to throw. Jones. And he'll find his man on the out route. That's Allen. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. His 2nd catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down.
And that's a nice job of working his way open down in the red zone. Looked that one in and then made a beeline for the pylon. He didn't quite get there, and you want to give him a little extra for the effort, but instead he sets his guys up in excellent shape with a 1st and goal.
One of the tight ends comes in motion. And they'll try the option on 1st and goal. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. Scoring on the 2-yard keeper. And the Bulls are back within a score.
Well, I'd have to say that for him, that was an all-encompassing drive because it was his arm that got his team down to that point, but his legs that finished the deal. Give him credit for making it happen.
The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And that one makes it 14-7. So that drive, 12 plays in length, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. Here's Memphis to once again go on offense. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down.
He's taken out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage.
Now a handoff up the middle. Anthony. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 12 yards there and a first down. After he cleared the line of scrimmage, nice little hole developed.
Yeah, he got great blocking right there at the start. But how about his vision, finding the open spaces and letting his feet carry him to him?
And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. It'll be a loss loss of 7 on the sack, and it brings up second. Well, remember, they had the nice gain on the previous play, but they just gave a lot of it back right there on that sack.
Yeah, they get the sack, get back some real estate. Felt like the type of play that can spark a defense and swing some momentum. Almost felt like a take that type of a play, didn't it, partner?
No gain on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Blitz forthcoming as he'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And they will take over 1st and 10. San Juan now getting set to take over on offense. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Yeah, now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. And now a first chance for the backup here to throw. And that will be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
And on now is the punter, as he'll come on to kick this one away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the 2nd quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
Ball start, offense.
Yeah, maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Stevenson. Pressure gets to him, and down he goes. Back at the 4-yard line. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball in this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Yeah, that's a nice job there defensively to blanket those receivers on 3rd down. And as a quarterback, all you can do is just loft one toward the bench. Not too close, mind you, and live to punt the football.
So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. San Juan now getting set to take over on offense. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
They'll get only a couple down to the 44. And now on 3rd down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Back to throw. Jones. And a big loss here as he's taken down. multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
Your partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far, because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
And they'll send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Calls for the fair catch, makes the fair catch just inside the 15-yard line. And boy, before the drive even starts, here's a timeout. Wow. So as they talk it over, we step aside. On 1st and 10, Stevenson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Here's 2nd and 10.
No gain on the play. 2nd and 10 at the 15-yard line.
Looking to throw. Stevenson. He finds Lynch. It's complete. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. 12 yards there and a first down. Up the middle they go. Anthony. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd and 9. Back to throw. Stevenson. And this is going to be incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
To throw on 3rd down, Stevenson. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. San Juan's offense ready to get started again. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He'd love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Jones. The throw here right sideline falls incomplete.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on 3rd down.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. White now to return. A good head-down running on the return gets about 15 yards. Here's Memphis to once again go on offense. As we eat closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. Back to throw. Stevenson. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll be brought down just shy of field at the 49-yard line. On first down, Stevenson. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, a 22.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Throwing on first down, Stevenson. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again, Stevenson. Wide open receiver, complete. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Looking to throw. Stevenson. And it's caught. Touchdown. From 8 yards out. And the Blues want to extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
Partner, to me, that touchdown had something that was kind of rooted in that group seeing the future. What I mean by that is they had a plan. Let's find a way to score right here before the half. And now to give us momentum going into the second half. Give us that cushion that we're looking for. They got that accomplished, scoring right before the half ended.
Now for the point after. It's good, and it is now 21-7. So the drive there took 6 plays. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. Sheds off the tackle. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Back out comes this offense now late in this first half. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it down by 2 scores. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. And now it looks like we're going to get a timeout here. We've got a man shaken up. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Up at the 29 now, they'll head to the line, 2nd and a yard. Back to throw. Jones throwing middle, and it's complete. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Jones throw there complete to Allen. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Now the offense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Can't get away, and he's taken down. So we're at halftime of this AFC wildcard matchup. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. The last of our 3 games on this Sunday. One more to follow tomorrow night as we wrap up a very exciting 3 days of Super Wild Card Weekend. We'll begin south of the border, and I mean way south, in Buenos Aires, Argentina, where you see the final score there. The Caps let a few too many slip away over the course of the year, but a victory there does mean they finish above 500 at 9-8.
All right. right, Coach. Thank you very much. As we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Both teams try to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. And we will not have a run back here as the second half starts with a touchback. This offense ready to go to begin this third quarter. And Charles, that had to be an interesting locker room at halftime. This is a team that's had so much success this year. Haven't really had to deal with a lot of adversity at halftime, to be honest. But now here they are with their playoff lives on the line.
And I think when you're alluding to that interesting locker room, you're just wondering, how are they handling that bit of adversity that they're seeing right now? Because I think this is a team that has to look to lean on the veterans at this point. We know we're better than...
Bye-bye, Beasley! And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 39 yards there, a big one. Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles, gain some additional yardage.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. They'll run on 1st down. Beasley, a short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29.
Whenever we talk about the best strong safeties, one word constantly comes up, and that's instincts. Being able to diagnose run or pass and make the appropriate moves.
He crashed down hard there. He was ready for that running play. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Really good coverage all over the field. It took away his intended read and almost dared him to try for his guy out of the backfield. No surprise on that one. It doesn't connect.
Jones now. Off play action. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And their defense just helped them out by getting the football back on the opening drive here in the second half. And now can the offense follow through with points on their first possession?
And that's a big one for them because after the work the defense has done, they've got a chance here to open up this lead.
Makes it 2nd and 10 at the 23-yard line.
Throwing again. Stevenson. Got a man and he hits him in stride. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Brings up 3rd and 2.
They'll try the left side. Anthony. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38. 54 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
There are a lot of different formulas to winning football, but one constant over the years, winning on 3rd down. That pickup there was big because they had struggled throughout this one.
Right back to him on 1st down. But he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd and a yard. Now a toss play for Peyton. And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35. That one good for a 1st down pickup of 18 yards. A nice toss play there to the left. More than enough room to move the chains.
And you know what I love about that play as a broadcaster? Seeing the big guys move. Seeing them get upfield and take out defenders. You know what I hated as a defensive back?
What?
That exact same thing. Seeing those linemen coming downfield, getting ready to blot out the sun.
Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Lynch. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. 2nd down and 4.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
Now a give right side. Anthony. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up first and goal. False start's going to push him back, but these days, how hard must it be to be an offensive lineman?
It's very hard, Brandon. You've got defensive linemen flinching, trying to draw you off sides. You've got the loud crowds, and there are just so many super athletic players on defense now that you have to deal with each week. But through it all, these guys just sit in there for 4 quarters and slug it out.
Here's Peyton up the middle. Powers, and he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great play there. His second touchdown of the night. And the Blues continue to show why it pays to play at home in the postseason as they add on to their lead. You talk about certain guys just having a nose for the end zone. He's one of them, and he was not going to be denied there.
And defensively, especially in the red zone, you've got to be able to at least slow him down and hold on for dear life. But he's able to get out of a couple tackles there, and not enough people got there in time. Pretty poor on the defensive side of the ball.
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. San Juan now getting set to take over on offense. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the first half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
On second down, here's the option. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Jones. And that is incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point in the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. Here's Memphis to once again go on offense. They're just looking for more of the same. Great first half so far. Good second half. And you know, sometimes I guess maybe, Charles, these coaches, they don't have to tell these guys much when they're rolling like they're rolling right now.
You're exactly right. I've heard stories of some of the best coaches in our time or any time having grabbed their staffs at halftime and said, guys, they're playing really well. Don't go in there and give them a whole lot of stuff. Just pat them on the back. And essentially the speech at halftime is, let's go, guys, and that's it.
Yeah, no one's upset the apple cart so far. Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Back to throw. Stevenson. He'll get this out to Lynch, complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. On the give, here comes Peyton. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it. And it's 2nd down. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Now a handoff up the middle. Anthony, and he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
It's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 9.
Looking to throw. Stevenson. Over the middle, complete. That's Lynch. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one goes for 24 yards.
This is just more of the same. This defense has had no answer on a lot of these throws. They've let these receivers run wild, and here's another completion for good yardage.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Back to throw. Stevenson. And that is incomplete.
It sort of looks like they stopped some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Oftentimes when you lose in a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he can only manage to take the football to the 40, and that is well shy of the 1st down marker. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there. So after 4 touchdowns in the game for this offense, this time they're forced into taking the 3.
But you did mention 4 touchdowns, right? So 4 out of 5, not too bad. I think that's a pretty good record for them.
And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. San Juan now getting set to take over on offense. They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up 1st and 10. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
The false start hurts him there a bit. Backs him up to 2nd and 9. Up the middle they go. Beasley. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
They've been running it well all game, and why not? The big guys up front, they're just having a ball, creating monster holes for their guys to run through.
They'll try and pick it up by running the option to the right. That is not going to be any help as they dump it behind the line of scrimmage. Not at all what they envisioned on 3rd down, 3 yards in the wrong direction.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the 1st half, and that trend is continuing here.
They bring their punter out there now as he's on to kick it away. This is brought in at the 21. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. Here's Memphis to once again go on offense. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
1 quarter remains for the right to survive round 1 here in the AFC. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now in Memphis, Tennessee. This 2nd and 4. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He finds his man, complete. It's Lynch. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a first down.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just kind of give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
2nd and 7. Now a give. It's Peyton.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
He's going to have the first down and more than that. And that's a touchdown, but hold on. There is a flag down on the field. We'll have to see what this is about. So retract the yardage and retract the touchdown.
And retract the chunk play. Big strike there to get the touchdown. Now they've got to take it back and see if they've got another one still in their arsenal.
On 3rd down, Anthony. And they will get this across midfield, but still well short of the first as he's dropped at the 46. Give him 8 yards on the carry, and that's going to bring up 4th down. So they bring out their punter, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. San Juan's offense ready to get started again. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. He finds his target, Allen. And they work this well upfield across the 45. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Operating from the gun, Jones. And he'll go right back to Allen. That's complete. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the 49-yard line.
Looking to throw, Jones.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they've forced in this runaway contest.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. He could not get away that time, and it'll be a loss of 11 on 3rd down. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational. CD, that is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack as a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? But let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long.
Desperation time now. Here's Jones. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Now inside the 25. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. San Juan's offense ready to get started again. And you can sort of sense their dejection. That last pick six put the icing on the cake, so to speak, in what has been a rough go for them. Jones, another shot here after the pick six. In trouble, and he's taken down. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack.
Partner, my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front seven today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Jones. Throwing the out route and complete. It's Allen. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted just twice and have had plenty of opportunities. This is 3rd and 4. Operating from the gun, Jones. And that one too wide and incomplete.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Back to throw. Stevenson. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd down and 10.
Looking to throw. Stevenson. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
And this one is right down the middle. So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
This fielded right at the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. San Juan now getting set to take over on offense. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game, and sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To throw again, Jones. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Jones to throw on 3rd down. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
That looked great when he first took off because in my mind, there was room to run and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
Here we go on 4th down. And boy, is he close. Did he get there? No, they're going to say he's short of the line to gain. They come up short here on 4th down. And that will force a turnover on downs. So he needed the short yardage, Charles. He elected to try to bounce it outside of the outer 3rd, unsuccessful.
Sometimes those plays are stacked up by the defense and there's nowhere to go, so you have to bounce it outside. And some backs just get impatient. They want to go to where they think there's more open territory instead of going where the play was actually blocked. In any case, it didn't work here.
On 1st down, Anthony. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. From the 28, it's 2nd and 5.
2nd and 5.
Back to throw. Stevenson over the middle. It's complete. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a first down. Looking to throw. Stevenson. He finds his man. Complete. It's Lynch. So no gain on the play, and that'll make it second down.
At the 16-yard line.
So it looks like somebody may have forgotten the snap count, and a 5-yard penalty ensues. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. Back to throw. Stevenson. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They'll try the left side. Anthony. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. 110 yards rushing for him now as he goes over the century mark here in the wild card round. Hate to be blunt, but it is just continuing to prove to be the case that this O-line is manhandling this D-line right now.
They deserve to roll up their sleeves and show up their biceps because they're doing exactly what you just described, manhandling the defensive front. They've got the leverage. They are powering through. And
they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, this offensive line has really stepped up. Because those Mastodons, they've been sensational clearing holes all game long. And this is great work down here near the goal line to give their back the space he needs to work his way into the end zone.
Point after try forthcoming. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. That time a 6-play drive, and it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. Taking it about the 1. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. San Juan's offense ready to get started again. Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing again, Jones. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. So the ball changing hands on the interception, but meanwhile here we do have an injury on the play. Well, the medical staff is going to come out here and take a look, and we will take a short break. They'll run now with Peyton. He'll work his way up the middle for a gain of about 4, 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
On 2nd down now, Anthony. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. But not much defensive resistance on that drive. And really, Charles, the way this offense has been humming, they haven't faced much defensive resistance the entire game.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say that one team, their defense did not wake up and make it to the stadium for this one. But maybe some major changes on that side of the ball when we see them the next time out.
Extra point splits the uprights, and this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. San Juan now getting set to take over on offense. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, with how lopsided this game has been, even...
Bye-bye, Beasley! And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
And a San Juan 1st down.
Looking to throw. Jones. He finds his man. Complete. It's Bennett. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
Brings up 2nd and 1 at the 42-yard line.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. Well, 1 win down, still 3 to go to get to the most hallowed ground in sports, but a good start.
A terrific start because they get to move on. Unfortunately for the team that lost, it's a long offseason ahead for them now.
That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. With that, we say good night, everybody.